The more you see and experience what this world has to offer, the more it takes to impress you. I don't mean to talk down or up or at level with anyone when I say this, but a great majority of people naturally will not be able to relate to what I'm about to say. But please try to understand. The more you see and experience what this world has to offer, the more it takes to impress you. And like everything else in life, that ends up being a double-edged sword. On the one hand, you see people that are so excited about, oh my God, I can't wait, next week a Batman movie is coming out, I can't wait to see it. Or such and such basketball team is in the finals now, whatever, or football team, whatever, soccer, whatever. Things that to someone who's seen and experienced the world, experienced the higher highs and the lower lows and the middles, he is amazed, he is shocked, and he's floored that such rudimentary, elementary things impresses the masses. But the more you experience in life, the less it takes to impress you. Actually, it will be whittled down to about the number you can count on one hand, and with few fingers left in that one hand. Again, that can be good or bad, depending on how you look at it. On the good side, well, you have a long list of things that impress you and excite you in life and quicken your pulse, like what I just mentioned about football games and movies coming out, and etc. On the other hand, if you've experienced the higher highs of life, if you've seen and tasted and done all that money can do, money can make it possible for you to do, then it takes very little to impress you, and you find less and less people in this world that can relate to you and that can understand you and that can know where you're coming from. When they mention all these things they're gonna do, movies, sports games, whatever, and they are excited about that, and you're quietly telling yourself, I wish I could get excited about things like that. But those little things that are left in your that you can count with one hand and few fingers to spare, those things are, if you will, like something that's filtered down to the most purest form. Those are the things that will impress you the most, and they impress you to a great deal, where you're willing to sacrifice most things in life so that you could do those few things. Let's say those 3 things that are left in life that impress you and excite you. And you would go to lengths to do that. For example, I give you an example. I knew somebody who recently passed away, and he was a serenely wealthy person. And one of the things that excited him more than anything else was exotic forms of massage. So he would travel on a dime's notice to Colombo, Sri Lanka, to get this special Ayurvedic, 600 Ayurvedic massage with sesame oil and whatever, that someone had told him about, and that told him that, of all the massages I've had around the world, this was absolutely the most exciting and the best experience, and makes you feel like you're floating in the air. So he would book a flight and go and halfway across the world to experience that, because that was one of the few things in life that excited him. Now, keep in mind, this guy was a person that had money to do whatever any person can do. And I've touched this subject on this subject before. No matter what you hear about the richest person in the world, such and such person is now the richest person in the world, now such and such person is the second richest person in the world. Once you have passed a certain amount of money, there is nothing of worthy of mentioning that the richer person can do that the one with a little less money cannot do. You know what I mean? Okay, you might not be able to buy as big a yacht, but you can still buy a 100-foot yacht for $25 million, euros, whatever. So the one who has more money can buy a yacht that is twice the size. But is that really something that's the difference of which is measurable? No, it's not. So back to the main point of this video. And the main point of this video is that some of you may be able to relate to this. Some of you will not be able to relate to this at all at this point, but maybe later in your life you can. And some of you might have been able to relate to this years ago. But the more you see and experience and taste in this world, the less things are there that will impress you. And that means, let's say you are in that group where you've tasted and seen everything and you have very, very few things in life that impress you. If you are in that category, then most of the times you are bored, you are not impressed, you are not amused, except for those few times in life, few moments, few days, whatever, where you are getting to do those few things that quicken your pulse, that excite you. And this is a fact of life that many of us will not be lucky enough to arrive at. Again, it is indeed a double-edged sword. It has its negatives and its positives. But I think given the option, have you heard of the thing, ignorance is bliss? Someone who thinks that a certain basketball team reaching the finals is the most exciting thing in his life, well, it's because they don't know what other more exciting things are there in life. And who's to judge that if he doesn't know that he's an unlucky person or a lucky person? Ignorance is bliss. If you don't know what you're missing, then you don't know what you're missing. But once you reach a point where you do experience and taste those higher highs, then you will be able to relate to what I'm saying. And then you'll also experience that other side of the sword, where very, very few things and at very, very few times in life you are actually excited, happy, and joyful. The rest of the times you are bored, unamused, and waiting for the next experience that will only excite you. All the best.